All right, AJ, how you doing, brother?
Hey, boss, doing great.
Good, good. Yeah, so today is a good day, man. So today we're going to be going over the sales process, okay? So for the people that are watching live, I'm working with you and my students, and anybody can see how we're going to train you on how to, identify leads, opportunities, and if we got somebody that's interested, okay? Someone that we can work with. Because in this industry, you really got to find motivation. You know that, right, AJ?
Definitely, boss.
You got to find that motivation that keeps
Hmm.
the seller, makes the sellers want to sell. And right now, AJ, there's some serious motivation going on in the
Hmm.
in the market because stuff isn't selling. Interest rates have gone up. People's houses aren't selling. People are motivated. I'm motivated. I have two flips that aren't selling. I'm very motivated. So it doesn't have to take someone that has a crappy house, or in this moment a crappy house, or something that's super distressed looking. It can be a situation. Okay.
Hmm.
So let me ask you this, AJ. And for the people that are watching, you're watching live. I'm training my VA and a couple of my people in my program to how to identify opportunities in this market right now. So that's what you're watching. All right. So AJ, what do you think would cause someone, not the stress factor of their home or condition, but what do you think would cause them to be motivated to want to sell? Give me a couple things.
Um, Probably moving out of state for a new job or
Yeah. Okay.
a job reason.
Moving out of
Uh,
state, or you said out of state or another job? Is that what you said?
to get another job, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe financially they're in a problem. Their house
Right,
doesn't
right.
have to be stressed, right? They could be financially in a burden.
Agree.
So there's a lot of different factors that determine if someone should be motivated. It's not always that they have a crappy looking house. Now,
Hmm.
when people drive for dollars, that's a good indicator that there's distress if there's a house that needs work. But it's not so much. It's just the house looks bad. It can be a number of things. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you, AJ, the type of distress factors that are causing sellers to want to sell. Motivation. We're going to review it, and then when you start
Hmm.
working with people that submit deals to sellyourdeal.io, when you start working with sellers, you're going to want to find out, really, most importantly, why are they selling? And
Hmm.
the condition of the home is very important, but it's not the most important thing. And to me, sometimes, AJ, I do deals without even knowing what the house looks like or the condition, just because I know that there's a situation that's so stressful for the seller that they need
Hmm.
to get rid of it. And I forget to even ask about the house, right?
Hmm. That's
And
the situation.
yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. What? Tell me about the house, but it's almost like too late where it's like, well, it doesn't really even matter. So
Hmm.
let's go over. So for any of you guys that are watching this now or will watch, this is the painless wholesaling mind map that I give out for free. It outlines 10 steps to getting your first deal, and within the steps, it outlines everything that you need to know in order to get there. So for example, finding cash buyers, you drop it down. It's got a video to explain the whole section, and it's got every single way you can find a buyer. It's got everything you need. Don't ever think, don't ever go look anywhere else. It's all here. If you want to master wholesaling, reverse wholesaling, whatever, all the information's in here. I even tell you how to build your business over here. So it goes in deeper. And if you like doing creative deals, I tell you this. The only thing I ask, since I give this away for free, is go here, leave me a nice review saying, thank you, Nathan, for giving me free stuff. That's all I ask for because that helps me out. Okay, so AJ, you already know that. But we're going to go to section 8 of making offers to sellers, because this is where we're going to start getting into the sales process, right? So
Right.
you're going to get a lot of deals submitted to you that we're going to look at, and you're going to go find deals. And it is kind of important to know the situation if the deal does not look that good. So if someone submits a deal and they say, hey, these are the numbers, and you look at it and you're like, those numbers don't make sense. And that's going to happen a lot. You're going to run into a lot of deals across, people that submit for us to JV with them, or you're going to run into a lot of deals that you're looking at and the numbers don't make sense. So do you think you should just throw that away, or do you think you should find out if there's an underlying problem?
Definitely fine. Fine. talk to them to find out that there's a problem.
Exactly. Whether that's a wholesaler brought you a deal or if that's a a seller you're talking to. You want to find out the motivation. What is causing them to sell? Because you don't want to just say, "Hey, your numbers don't make sense, wholesaler," or "Hey, seller, your numbers, you're asking too much. I can't do it. Peace out." You want to find out why, and if you have someone that's motivated, you're going to dive in deeper and you're going to, find out you're going to talk to them more. I got someone here on the live saying, "Where can I get this?" It's in my Facebook group. If you go to my Facebook group, I have it everywhere. And if you stick around the whole time for the training, I'll just show you exactly where you can get it. But right now, we're going to dive right in. All right, AJ, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you drop this thing down, I made a video. And by the way, AJ, I took care of the rest of this. I went through the whole thing. I fixed it. So you're done. You don't need to go and fix this anymore. I did it. So here's an overview of how to run through this, how to understand this section. But first thing we want to talk about is the sales process. Now, the sales process is different when you're talking to someone that's off market. That means it's not listed on MLS versus someone that is on market. Now, on market, you have to do a couple different things. You got to work with the agent. You got to negotiate a little bit differently. But today we're going to talk about off market because most of the deals that we're working, AJ, and that we'll get from other wholesalers that need to want to JV with us are going to be from off market. Okay.
Copy that.
So the structure of the conversation, AJ, have you ever called the seller and kind of felt like you don't really know what to say? Has that happened to you?
Yeah, there really are times where when we talk, then we don't know what to say, depending really on what the situation and
So
how would the
it happens to all of us, right? So the thing that I'm going to teach you is the process, because in order to talk to someone, and you got to kind of find out where you're taking them. You got to know the end in mind. And that's a sales tactic. Whenever you talk to someone, you have to let them know at the beginning of the call why you're calling. Because has anyone ever called you, AJ, and been like randomly, they haven't called you in 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden they call you and they're like, "Hey, AJ, what's up?" Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
And what goes through your mind when someone just calls you out of the blue and they don't even tell you why they're calling? They just say, "Hey, hey, AJ, how you doing?"
It seems like there's a motive, or it really feels weird.
It's weird, right? So it's the same thing with sellers. If you just call a seller right now and say, "Hey, how you doing? Is Jared there?" What do you think's going through his head?
He would definitely wonder.
Yeah, he's skeptical. He's like, "What the heck does this guy want from me? I don't even know who this is." So when I call a seller, the first thing I do is I ask for permission if they're ready to talk. Okay. So this is how it goes. "Hey, how you doing? Is this Jared?" Or let's go role play. "Hey, is this AJ?"
Yeah, this is AJ.
"Hey, AJ, how you doing? My name is Nathan and I'm calling about your property, but I might have caught you at a bad time. Is now a bad time to talk?"
No, not really.
Okay. So I've asked you if now is a bad time to talk, and it's the wording. It's is now a bad time. And the reason I asked you that is because, you might just say, "Yeah, this is AJ." And then if I just go right into talking about what I have to talk about, you could be in the middle of a movie. You could be at work. I don't know what you're doing. I just called you randomly. Right.
Right.
And, I'm getting a call right now. Let's see how it goes. Hold on. Hello. Hello?
Hey Nate, Scott here. How you doing?
Scott, I'm doing good. Scott, can I call you back in like maybe 20 minutes? I'm just doing a training with one of my employees.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, call me back. No problem.
Call you right back.
Good.
All right, bye.
Thanks, bye.
Okay. So you call them, you ask for permission, and then once they say yes, then you're allowed to go into the conversation and talk more. So let's role play at that step 2. "Hey, AJ, how are you?"
Doing good. Who's this?
Good. "Hey, my name's Nathan." Sorry, I should have told you who I was. "My name is Nathan. I saw that you have a property that you're potentially looking to sell. I was wondering if right now was a bad time to talk, or should I just call later?"
Can you call me back later?
Of course I can. When can I call you?
in an hour. I'm
Good,
just
good.
driving right now.
I'll call you back. Great. So if I would have just gone right into that conversation, it could have been awkward, right? Because like for example, this guy just called me, I'm busy. What if he just called me and all of a sudden he just started going to the conversation? I'd say, hey man, sorry, I got
Right.
something going on. So you ask for permission. That one's pretty simple. Call. I'm actually going to put and introduce yourself. Introduction. Introduce yourself. Okay, so once you call, you want to set, well, actually, it's call and introduce yourself and why you introduce yourself. Call and let them know why you're calling. Let them, I mean, this is pretty basic stuff. You're just going to let them know who you are. Calling about. Okay, cool. Super simple. All right. So now, AJ, we've come to the part where we called the seller. We've introduced ourselves. We let them know we're calling about their house. We asked for permission to talk to them. Now we're going to set the stage. What do you think? I don't think we've talked about this before. What do you think setting the stage is with the seller? When you, after you've gotten permission, you're allowed to talk. What do you think setting the stage means?
Probably painting the big picture.
Okay. Got it. So setting the stage is a sales tactic that you use to let them know what the purpose of this call is and what you want them to decide to do by the end of the call. So, because if you just call, start going to stuff, they might be thinking the whole time, I don't know what this guy wants from me. I have no idea what this guy wants. So you'd say, hey, my name's Nathan. I'm calling about the house. I was wondering if right now was a bad time to talk. No, it's not bad. Great. So like I told you, my name's Nathan. I'm an investor. The reason for the call is, I'm interested in purchasing houses in your area. My goal on this call is just to see, if I could potentially buy your home. And by the end of this call, we would decide to either move forward or just end right here and, not discuss your home anymore. Does that work for you? So now you know exactly why I'm calling and what my goal is. I'm just trying to see if I should buy your house, right? Easy.
Right.
No problem, right? So
No problem.
right after I ask them, I tell them why I'm calling and set the stage. I try to find motivation. And that's what we're going to talk about today on this training. So we're going to dive into motivation, all of that. All right. But I do have a question coming up. Nate, do you guys do cold calling on your team? Whoever asked that, we used to do a lot of cold calling. Right now, we just do a lot of free lead generation. With the way the market is, there's a lot of opportunities that are coming across for free, but we used to do a ton of cold calling. So, all right, AJ, so we're going to dive right into this bad boy. Okay. So that right after you give permission, you set the stage. I try to find motivation immediately. I want to know why they're selling their house and why they'd be willing to talk to me, some random guy that's calling them. Okay. And there's usually got to be some sort of motivation. So what is the issue that's causing them to sell? Is it really that big of an issue, or is it not a big deal that would cause them to sell? You got to find that out. Your goal as a sales guy is acquisitions rep is to find out if the motivation they have is enough for them to actually make the move to sell. Because the thing is, some people might be like, I want to sell because I want to downsize. Okay. That motivation might not be that strong to actually get them to make the move, like to actually do anything. They might just say, interest rates are high. I don't really, never mind. I'm good. So that motivation's pretty low, right? Or, hey, I want to move just because I don't like my neighbor. Well, that's maybe a little bit higher. Maybe the neighbor's threatening their life and they're in trouble. So that is a higher motivation. So when you get a lead from a seller or from a wholesaler that brings you a bad deal, you would say, okay, well, this deal doesn't look like it makes that much sense, but if there's a lot of motivation, it might be worth looking more into. Okay. So there's a document here on the mind map that we're going to look at, and it says, what does a motivated seller look like? Okay. So let's dive into it and let's read it word for word, because that's what we're going to do together. And this is going to tell us exactly what a motivated seller looks like. Okay. All right. So it says motivated sellers explained in detail. The key to being able to make tons of money with this real estate campaign, I guess I got this from another document. But anyway, this real estate campaign is to be able to negotiate with homeowners to securing their property for the highest commission available based on their ARV property value. Okay. In order to find a good deal, you need to look for motivated sellers. It will be your job to talk to sellers to quickly determine how motivated they are. Notice it says quickly. We don't want to waste time. Quickly determine how motivated they are. We will give you the word for word script and questions to ask so you can talk to sellers with confidence, knowing you sound like a pro. Okay. We have scripts. Okay. What is a motivated seller? A motivated seller is defined as a property owner who desperately needs to sell their property to alleviate the burden or stress the property is causing them. Again, there's an issue. There's a burden or stress that's causing them to want to sell. It's either financial, they can no longer afford to own the property, or the property itself is distressed and they don't have the money, time, or motivation to fix it up. There's a lot of that is motivation. They don't want to do it. Here's what's important to remember. A motivated seller will gladly trade equity for peace of mind. Again, they're willing to sell their house for less money, knowing it's less, because they want the problem done. Okay. And this has happened hundreds and hundreds of times that we've done deals where they know they can get more. I tell them they can get more, but still they're like, I just want the problem gone. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. A motivated seller is eager to sell their unwanted property that is stressing them out to you at a discount just to get rid of the hardship or heartache the property is causing them. There are dozens of situations that would cause a property owner to be motivated to sell. Okay. And this could go, this could be any product. This could be a car. This could be anything. If someone's distressed enough or in a certain situation, they just want to get rid of what's ever causing their problem, right? If it's a car that's a piece of trash and it's not working, get rid of it. I don't need it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are some of the motivating factors right here. Lost their job and are facing foreclosure. Okay, that's a big motivating factor. If you get on the phone with someone or if a wholesaler sends you a deal and it's a bad deal, but you say, well, look, it doesn't really make sense when you call them, but you say, why are they selling? And they say, they lost their job and they're facing foreclosure. Still talk to that person, right? That's a motivated situation.
Right.
Like the lady that I talked to that took forever and she's just going to let the house go to foreclosure. She right here facing foreclosure, but she doesn't give a bump. Okay. Cause the house isn't worth that much. Okay. And then it says, don't have the money to pay the taxes and they're about to lose it in tax auction. Very, very motivating factor right there is if, motivation, if they're going to lose the house because they can't afford the taxes. Okay. Divorce or bankruptcy, same thing. Inherited the property and just don't want to hassle with dealing it. We've done a lot of inherited properties where people are like, look, I got this house. I don't want to fix it. I got a job. I got a life. I got kids. What would you, I'll just sell it as is. Okay. Moved out of state and it's hard to take care of it long distance. Out of state absentee owners, perfect for this. Burned out landlord. If you can ask any wholesaler out there, most deals are coming from burned out landlords, absentee owner list, 100%.
Okay.
It could be one of hundreds of reasons. The point is there are properties where the owner is motivated to sell the property, and even though there's equity in the property, they would rather sell it quickly, just the way it is, just to get rid of it. To a motivated seller who's facing a hardship, they would rather have peace of mind by getting rid of their unwanted property than to try to keep it and fix it and flip it or rent it and keep it on their own. This is where we come in. Okay. So the reason why I'm telling you this, AJ, is when you talk to sellers, is there motivation? Is there something causing them to want to sell? Vice versa, not vice versa, but again, if it's not a seller, if it's a wholesaler bringing us a deal that they want a JV, and again, the numbers don't work, and you're like, you're too high, but maybe this is worth exploring. Why did the seller really want to sell? And if that wholesaler is like, well, they want to sell because they're trying to downsize, or they want to sell because, they're trying to capitalize on the market. That's not really that much motivation. But again, if it's super motivated, yeah, let's say, hey, let me talk to the seller. I'll talk to her. Tony, hey, Tony, come on, hop in this call, brother. I don't know why you're not in here. I put it in the Discord. I love to hear your opening line when the homeowner answers your cold call. Yeah, I can cold call somebody. Give me a number. I'll call somebody right now. Someone that said that in the live, and I'll call a seller right now too. All right, AJ. So first thing we want to do is find motivation. And these are the pillars of motivation I'm going to show you that are right here. And there's a video where I go over it deeper that you can watch, or anyone that's watching this can dive into. So here are the 4 pillars of motivation. You have a condition. If the house is trashy, that's usually a motivation for someone because they don't want to fix it up. Price. If well, you know, sometimes people don't think price is the motivation, but if they're asking a lower price for the property, that's usually motivation that they want to sell. If their timeline, what do you think what would cause them to want to sell quickly about their timeline? What do you think, AJ?
Well, as mentioned earlier, it can be this will drive it's a pillar and a motivation because it just goes to show that they just want to dispose this property. I mean, just let it go.
Yeah.
So the shorter they want to get this sold or get this over with, I think that's more motivated compared to someone who wants to probably sell it in 90 days or 60 days.
You got it, brother. That's exactly right. If someone says, dude, I need to sell this thing in 7 days, do you think there's a lot of motivation there? Oh,
definitely.
You're dang right. And it says number 4 is motivation. Motivation is it's just what it says. Why are you selling? Super simple, right? Okay, so there's a lot more that goes into the sales process, but right now we're just going to focus on finding that motivation on this training, and then we're going to dive in deeper. There's options, how to present options to sellers, asking about the property condition, timeline, deal killers, asking them what's going to stop them from selling, negotiating, anchoring, asking their price and anchoring them, negotiating with them, getting the contract signed over the phone. These are all steps to the sales process that can take 1 call, can take 5 calls, it can take months of following up, but that is the sales process. And here it is, just step by step if you ever forget. And looks like we got Tony coming on in here. Tony, what's going on? Tony, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, can you hear me good, Tony?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good now.
Yeah.
So Tony, I just recently started doing trainings in the mentorship daily. So you can, as much as you want, you can hop in. You can be here daily. You can be here once a week. I mean, I'd rather have you here daily because I'm in here talking. So
cool. I turned off the camera. I got a texting campaign going. So
oh, you're good. Yeah. So today, Tony, I'm just going over motivation with my VA, AJ, and because what I'm teaching him to do is we get a lot of opportunities on like JV opportunities. So I'm teaching him how to look for motivation. If someone submits a deal or something want to JV with us and the numbers don't make sense, instead of us just throwing it away and telling the wholesaler, nah, it's not a deal. We want to kind of dive deeper and be like, well, hold on, the numbers don't work, but what's the real reason the seller's selling? Maybe there's something here that we can work on. Right.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's kind of what we're diving into today. Do you have any questions about motivation, Tony, and trying to find out deeper why a seller's selling?
No, I usually get that just through a natural conversation, just building rapport. And I mean, when I jump on a call with sellers, I'm usually on that call for at least half an hour to 45 minutes.
Right. Exactly. That's good. Okay, well, you can just tune in, and if you have any questions, just let me know. You can comment or just say, hey, Nate, I got a question. Right now, I'm going to call some sellers, and I'm going to see if we can find some motivation, all right? Let's give it a shot. AJ, any questions before we dive in and go right into talking to some sellers?
No questions, boss. Although,
go ahead.
I was just thinking, the way you position it sometimes is that you ask a vague question, right? Like, what's the situation? Tell me.
Yeah. So vague might be the different word, wrong word. It's open-ended is the question. Open-ended means like it's a what, how, when, where, why. It's not a yes or no question, because if you just ask someone a yes or no question, then all they have to respond is yes or no. And it makes it very difficult to build a rapport and have a good conversation. So if the way I ask is I say, this is a great house. What's got you interested in selling it? And that way, instead of just saying what non-open-ended question, like, do you want to sell your house? Yes, I do. You didn't get any information from saying, do you want to sell or are you selling? You know? Okay.
Right.
Cool. All right. So I've told you guys this before. I use Home Light a lot to get my leads. I either flip these or I double close and wholesale them, but I pay them. I don't pay for these leads, but up front, but I do if what's the word? I gotta think. Sorry guys. I blanked. But yeah, no, I pay for these after I do the deal, whether I flip it or wholesale it. Go sign up for Home Light. It's free. Okay. By the way, I'm the king of getting deals for free. I don't like spending money. But so you can use any of the strategies here. I'm actually going to call someone who apparently had some motivation. I'm going to call them right now. Her name is Cindy. Let's see. Cindy Edwards. I'm going to call her. It's been a while, so she might be like, forget you, Nate. You haven't called me, but we're about to find out, bro. Remember, guys, if they don't answer, we call twice, maybe 3 times, and we text and we email in your CRM.
Right.
And you know that, AJ. We call 2-3 times just in case, text, email. That's how you follow up. And then you set a task for yourself to call again.
Please leave your message for 801.
So she didn't answer. What are we going to do? I already told you what were we going to do, AJ?
Call again.
She ain't off the hook yet. And they usually aren't upset when you call twice or 3 times. Sometimes they are, and you guys got to call them. Oh, sorry. I just sometimes, maybe I thought you might not have heard it. Whatever you got to say. She knows she's about to get locked up. Okay, so no answer.
Please leave your message for.
So I would have left a voicemail, but I forgot. I usually leave a voicemail. I'm just gonna text her, be like, "Hey, you know what's hilarious? I just called the lady named Sydney. It was the wrong Sydney. It was a girl. It was some person I tried to sell a Sprint to when I did door-to-door sales like 6 years ago. No wonder she didn't answer. She's like, who the heck is this guy? That would have been weird. I'm glad she didn't answer because it's, check this out. It says, Cindy Edwards wants Sprint. Maybe she's got a distressed property too. Who knows? Okay, guys, the name was Cammy, not Cindy. I freaking blew it. My bad. Cammy. All right, let's see if Cammy answers. I'm glad Cindy didn't answer for real. That would have been weird. I'd be like, hey. You remember me? I sold you Sprint.
Would sound like you were cold calling though.
For real. Okay, here she is. Cammy, how are you?
Good. How are you, Nathan?
Good. Hey, I want to apologize first and just say, hey, I know I've been so busy and I'm sorry I haven't been able to reach out sooner.
That's okay.
Yeah. So do you have a couple minutes to chat? I don't know if I caught you at a bad time.
Yep, we're just working. So
okay. Yeah. So let me pull up my what I'm looking at right here. Okay. So you're good to talk right now. I was basically just calling to see what you guys have been up to and like what the plan is with the home. I know we talked in depth about it before, but I know you were either looking to sell it or to fix it up. So what's kind of going on?
Well, we've been doing a lot of things. We've got almost all of the sheetrock done in the house.
Wow. Okay.
We have lowers in the kitchen. We have floor up in the back room, and our the new pantry moved in the back room. And so we've just been working away.
That's good. I'm glad you have.
We'll have the rest of the cabinets up in about a day.
Okay.
And that includes the fridge cabinet and the double wall oven cabinet.
Okay.
The electrical panel is all updated.
Wow, you guys have been busy, huh?
We have.
Wow.
We have been very busy.
That's great.
And so my husband says we'll be ready to do the flooring that we have in a few days too.
I love it. I love it. Well,
so we've just been working away.
Yeah. So what's the plan? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We need the most we can get out of our house.
100%. I agree with you.
And because because I had originally planned to be going to school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not working and we don't have income.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get as much as
savings,
you can.
Mm-hmm. We have disability from one of our sons, and then we have adoptive assistance from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So that is all that we have.
All right.
And so we've been living on credit cards. So we've racked up some debt that has to be paid off too.
Yes, of course.
But we cannot afford to do a construction loan in Indiana.
So you already dived into it, huh? To find out that you couldn't do it.
Well, with the interest rates the way they are, and me being a teacher and going back to work as a teacher, there's no way that we'll be able to, get out of a loan like that.
No, I know it's kind of crazy right now. I mean, the interest rates are like 7%.
We need to be able to get as much out of the house as possible.
Okay, gotcha.
And the last offer we were given was by my uncle. It was definitely not to help a family member out.
Well, yeah, I kind of expected it was just going to not be probably what you guys needed, just because.
Yep, it was 270. My aunt thought he was giving us 270 and taking over the mortgage, and I was like, no,
just 270, right? And he probably wanted you to pay off the mortgage.
He wanted it. Well, he was going to assume the mortgage.
Okay.
And keep it at the 3.25 or whatever our loan is.
Right. So how much down was he going to give you?
What was that?
Well, how much down was he going to give you in that offer? He said the purchase price was 270, but how much was he willing to give you up front?
He was going to assume the mortgage and give us it was going after the mortgage. 137 is what our mortgage is.
Right.
And so off of the 270.
So like
so about
133 or something
like that. But then we have our debts that had to get paid. We have 105. Oh yeah, we have 105 that we've got to pay out there.
Okay.
In Indiana. And then it leaves us like 30,000, and that's we've got 20,000 in debt because of having to live and buy our renovation stuff. We've bought all of our renovation stuff on our credit cards.
Got it.
And so that would leave us 10,000 to move and do a reno, and we can't do that.
Yeah. So to be honest, I mean, just from what you told me, it sounds like Indiana's not going to work out then.
No, Indiana's going to. They're holding it for us.
Okay. So how do you expect to do it? Do you expect to do it by fixing up the house and then selling it when it's flipped?
That's kind of what we've been going, or just listing it as is.
Okay.
Once it's done, and just doing for sale by owner, so that we can have as much come to us as possible. We don't know. I mean, we still have our set of what we absolutely need out of it, but I mean, we've been doing so much in the home. Well,
yeah, so I kind of understand the situation because we talked before, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So you're going to just go ahead and continue the rehab and then sell it as is for sale by owner? Is that what you're thinking?
That's what we've been thinking, unless you think, yeah, he says, my husband says, unless someone can come in at an absolute minimum of 325, with all the work that's been done.
Yeah, with cash. You're saying cash, right? 325 cash.
In cash. Yep.
Okay.
Because that's our absolute minimum of what we.
Right. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if you'd like to come over and look
and check it out.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, Alex sent me some pics, and I kind of get the condition. I don't mind coming over there, but I just wanted to make sure.
I can send you updated pictures.
That would be good. Yeah.
Because it's changed.
Okay. Yeah, because you remember what I proposed is I send this out to my cash buyers and they
Right.
like that I have and see pretty much wholesale it. I mean, you know what wholesaling is. It's just you get a house under contract that we agree on, and then I find a buyer and they pay me a fee. You know, they pay me.
Right.
You don't
Yep.
you don't have to pay me. So that's an option. But I also have I don't know if you did list this. Would you do FSBO for sale by owner? Or would you put it on the market with an agent?
No, we would do it by owner. My
Okay.
husband sold a home before by
Okay.
owner.
Okay. Just to let you know, the way that the market is, it might be a little difficult to sell for sale by owners because there's a lot more on the market. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because I have a connection to a broker who lists all my homes that I flip, and he does like a really, really cheap. He doesn't do 3%. He does $2,500 flat, and he's sold all my stuff. So if you do decide you want to list it where you can get more eyes on the MLS and have someone negotiate, go back and forth so you don't have to worry about it, it's pretty inexpensive to do that.
Okay.
And it'd probably get you a little bit more too.
$2,500 is a very fair.
Yeah.
That's a flat realtor fee with his friend that lists his homes.
Yeah. Very, very cheap. I'm
So is
so nice that he does that.
well. So Taylor has a question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Over here and ask it.
I'm just wondering, is there any commission the $2,500 listing?
It's not listing. That's everything.
Yes.
He does that instead of a percentage.
Yes. Yes. So that's the listing, right? So it's 2,500 for him. But if you brought a buyer's agent, if another seller comes, whether you guys do FSBO or if you do MLS, like usually a buyer that's going to come is going to have an agent that represents them. So you would have to pay whatever commission they want. But I'm just saying for him to put it out there, negotiate, take care of everything, it's 2,500 on his end flat.
Okay.
It's just an option.
Okay. And that's what he does instead of taking a percent at the end.
Yeah, he because I tell him all the time, I'm like, hey, I run into a lot of people that, they're just gonna do FSBO and, maybe you would be interested in listing their houses. And he said, yeah, I could do that for people. So, just an option for you.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
So look, this is what we should do. It sounds like you obviously you guys are putting in a ton of work. Send me some pictures of what the house looks like at the moment. I'll run some numbers to see what I think this house could sell for after it's, you guys have got it done. And it's either, my suggestion would be I can wholesale it and blast it out to my buyers, see what they'll pay, or we can list it and maybe use Nate, the broker I know, and he can do it for really cheap.
Okay.
What do you
All
think?
right. I think it sounds like a good idea. We just want to be able to get as much as we can out of it.
Yeah.
To be able to help us with our move.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I understand that you need a certain amount to, buy the other home. And hey, by the way, the other home, who knows, it might be negotiable too. I don't know if you've talked to him about it, but
we've already done the best we can.
Okay. And Alex is my buddy. I'm not trying to beat him up, but I'm just saying, like, hey,
Yeah, no, he's tried.
Yeah.
He has tried, and they're pretty set, but we love it. The neighbors were really nice, and they're the ones that own the home.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So they're holding it for us instead of, accepting offers and things like that.
Okay. Well,
So,
let me see if I can help you guys get this across the finish line. I do have a lot of buyers that love that area where you're in, but I think the further you take the reno, it's just going to be better for someone to come in there and clean it up and fix it up the rest of the way.
okay.
Cool.
Well, I will send you updated pictures here in just a couple minutes.
All right. Thank you so much. It's good talking to you again.
Good talking to you, Nathan,
Yep.
too. Thank
Yep.
you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. AJ, you hear all that?
Yes, boss.
So this might not have been the best example because I've already talked to her before, but I tried to repass over the motivation. And the best way, in my opinion, to find out if someone's motivated is try to push them away from taking your offer. So I said to them, I was like, hey, maybe moving isn't not what you guys want to do, right? I didn't say, hey, you should move. Let's do this deal. I said, maybe it sounds like that's not a good option right now. And what did she do?
She still insisted that they want to stick to the price and emphasize that the move will still push through.
Yeah, so she told me, I didn't have to convince her. She said, no, Nate, we're moving. And if you can help us, great. That we'd love it. So again, when I sell people, I'm not convincing them to work with me by any means. I'm calling them and seeing how they're doing, and then trying to figure out if we can work together. And her true heart came out. Exactly. Someone in the live said that. And I got someone that his name is STN on YouTube. He says he told me I'm talking too much, bro, on he said you're talking too much, bro, when I was on the phone with her. Now, STN, I thank you for your critique of my sales skills. I'm not the best or perfect, so I appreciate that. Maybe I should just let her talk. But I've talked to this lady probably 10, maybe not 10, 3 or 4 times. If I do not interject, she will go on for maybe 1 or 2 hours nonstop. So there comes a point in time when you've built enough rapport where you can talk as much as you want just so you can get the conversation over with, right? And that's what I did. Because again, there's some sellers that will just talk forever. And hey, again, thanks for the critique. That's what I like. I like going live. I like showing you guys how I do my thing. If you guys think I'm trash, let me know, and then we'll talk about it. I might not accept it. I might not say, hey, I agree with you, but I at least like that you're watching. So appreciate it. STN. Let's do some deals together, bro. So someone else said her true heart came out, and it did. So AJ, would you say this person is someone worth working with just because of the motivation right there?
Motivation alone.
Just motivation alone. You don't know anything about the house. She wants to move to Indiana. She is on credit card debt. She needs to. Do you think she's going to need to sell this house? She does not have a job. Any way to pay off that credit card unless she sells this house, correct?
Right.
That's a lot of motivation.
Right.
That's a ton of motivation because AJ, if they do not sell this house, how are they going to pay off their stuff?
Right.
This is someone that needs to sell ASAP, and they're going to come to a time maybe where they're like, get tired of doing the work. So I'm in a position right now where I do not have it under contract. I'm going to get it under contract. I'm going to blast it out at the price that I think it will work. I'm going to present them the options, see the best offer I can get them, and then we're gonna go from there. And worst case scenario is I list it with my broker, and I get a small fee of the listing fee. Usually cuts me like $500. And again, guys, I'm not getting rich off of listing it, but if that's the best scenario for her, I want to help her out, right? Her uncle's an agent, so she's either going to list 3% with her uncle, or I'm going to come in here and give her a bomb deal with my broker who just doesn't mind listing properties for people for super cheap. All right, AJ, what do you think? Any comments, any suggestions, anything you need me to go over on motivation?
I probably want to listen to a new call boss, because what I wanted to really find out is how you even dig deeper to really just a fresh new one.
Oh, dang, bro. You calling me out. You're saying, Nate, like that
No,
wasn't
not really.
You're like, yo, that wasn't good enough.
Although this one, since you already had a conversation in the past,
You didn't get to see it. You didn't get to see it. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I think I have a podcast coming up. Yeah, dude. So right now I got a podcast with Andrew Lucas Properties in 6 minutes. So we'll continue this training tomorrow. We have the batch calls. And Tony, if you're watching this, I go live, like I said, every single day in the not live, but I mean I do go live. I stream what I'm saying, but I train you guys and show you guys in the mentorship. So Tony, are you there, or are you
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me show you some, Tony, so you can see what you're gonna get, because this is cool. So let me share my screen really quick. Can you see the calendar I'm looking at, Tony?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So I think you're already subscribed to this, but it's the Investor Thrive Painless Mentorship. So this is the calendar that you can look at to see when the calls are. And all you have to do is click into join the Google Meet, and it brings you to the call. And I usually stream these to Facebook just because, I let people see what I'm teaching, but they obviously aren't interacting like you and AJ. But you're subscribed to this calendar, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just go in here. I also send out emails every day. You should be getting those soon that are like, will tell you when the call is. But Monday is we're calling sellers and cash buyers live. I can call some of yours. You can see how I call them, or we'll just talk about different ways to get cash buyers. Tuesday is at 4 p.m. MST, and it's how to get your mind right, routine, kind of like what we've talked about in the past that you'd like to do, and deal analysis, analyzing deals. Today's sales training, going over specific sales techniques and calling sellers. Tomorrow is marketing and finding leads. And then Friday is the podcast where I have a guest come on, and then you guys are able to ask a question if you would like to the guest at the end. And, you know, if you want to just connect, you know, I do that for people. So now Thursday and Friday, they don't have Google links there. I have to actually send you a specific link that I'll send you in the Discord because they're through StreamYard, both of these, but these are through Google Meet. So just look in Discord tomorrow for these, for the next 2 days, and we'll get you those.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, Tony, hey, that's it. Do you have any questions before we end this call?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm glad I got it. I caught it just in time. So.
Yeah, hey, now you know when they are. It's, you know, consistently every day at 1 at MST, so 3 your time, or but Tuesdays are 6 your time.
Awesome.
Tony, let's get it, man. If you need anything, you know you can reach out.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one. See you. All right, AJ, we'll see you. Get ready. You're going to get ready tomorrow, AJ. Start analyzing some deals, cranking deals. We're going to train you, and you're going to be getting JV deals. You're going to be getting, you're going to be talking to sellers. We're going to make you a machine, brother.
See you, boss. Thank you.
Peace out, bro. All right, everybody on the live. Thanks for tuning in. I don't think there's any questions here. Let me see. Right here it says, whatever it takes, we are here to provide a service of helping people out. Amen, brother or sister. That is so true. Look, if you can't provide a service to help people, like why would they go with you? They got to trust you. They got to feel like you have their best interests in mind. You should always, if they should not sell for cash, there's a better option. Let them know. Let them decide. Don't try to push someone or finagle somebody and taking a cash offer. Like, say, hey, look, you can flip, you can list, you can rent this out. Why don't you do all those? And then they'll tell you why. And then it's an easy deal from there. All most of the deals that I do, that I get, it's easy. I'm not convincing anyone. I present the options and they tell me they want to work with me. And then we work together. They sign a contract. And at that point, they're locked in. They try to back out. I say, hey, look, you and me both agreed. I got an affidavit and memorandum with your name on it. Just because I've spent a lot of time and energy working with you, I have an interest in this property. You ain't going nowhere. Okay. And that's not rude. That's just, that's business. Okay. Everybody, peace out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the call tomorrow. And if you have questions, call me. I'm here to help. Here's my phone number at the bottom. You can give me a call directly. It's a landline, so don't text it. You can call me. I'll answer your question. I'll try my best. I'm not always available. I got a podcast in 1 minute. So, yeah, not always available, but if you need any help, you want to join the club, want to join the mentorship, or if you just want to talk, you don't want to join any of that because you think I ain't got the sauce, totally cool. Let's talk anyway. All right, later.